So let's have a conversation about how psychics and psychic mediums like myself make predictions and see future realities, because it is an art and not a science. And I would love for some other psychics to comment below or stitch this video so I can hear your thoughts, because all of us experience this differently. And I think that that's really important for the general public to become aware of, especially since this seems to be something that more and more people are beginning to be interested in. And I'm going to say, before I say this is the number one reason why I despise doing love readings for people. If you know, you know. So as I mentioned, this is an art and not a science. So science, though, can prove that what we do is real. Like they can prove, like the CIA's released, I can't think of like the name of the documents that have been released, but they can prove that people can do remote viewing, that people can speak to deceased people on the other side, that we can channel and communicate with other beings. All of this stuff can be scientifically proven that we do, but how we do it is still an art. And what I mean by that and how it's interpreted is that each human has their own personal viewpoint. We have our own personal experiences. We have our own way in which we pick up and then interpret energies around us. So what I find really magical and beautiful about the situation that we're in currently with a lot of psychic mediums is that many of us are picking up on the exact same string and have the exact same information. And that, to me, signals that there's a strength in that energy signal, that's where more of the collective is moving. Okay, so follow me from there. So as a psychic, I can see multiple different potential avenues that things can take course. And I can see the line of sometimes sequences, sometimes events. Time is not linear anywhere else but here in this dimension on Earth right now. And so it's not always a one-to-one, and it doesn't mean something has to happen in the same order as I see it. So there's that piece. But what we can see is, like, for example, I'll back it up to my own personal life. Like, I used to be the person that would sit down and make, like, here's my 1-year plan, here's my 5-year plan, here's my 10-year plan. And I was very career, corporate-minded focused for a while. I was a program manager and project manager for over a decade in pharmaceutical research before I transitioned into doing this full-time. And I would sit down and be like, okay, this is my trajectory. And for a long time, I could see myself taking this corporate ladder path. And I did take this corporate ladder path. I continued to climb the ranks as I planned. And that's what I saw myself. But I could also see like 16 other scenarios had my life taken different, like had I made different decisions within my life, right? Because we all at the end of the day have free will. So that comes into play. So when I made my prediction video a couple of days ago, that got a lot more feedback than I was ever expecting. That was based on the current energy of today. Right now, enough people are waking up, enough people feel a certain way about our current dynamics that the orange makeup beauty queen contest winner apparently is more detrimental to our overall health. But who we have is also detrimental to our health, and there needs to be massive changes across the board, right? We're picking the lesser of evils, and I think a lot of us are done with that. We're waking up to wealth and class consciousness. We are waking up to the lies that we've been fed about a lot of different things, right? I think more of us are having our own interpersonal experiences. I think a lot of us are healing generational trauma and wounds. And because of that, those are the things that I see us continuing. Now, I'm going to back up. In 2020, I felt a similar push. I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. I even started a notebook where I started writing down journals. One, for my own mental health and sanity, as my husband was protesting every night, but to my kids, but also to document what was happening, how I felt about what was happening. I really felt we were in this revolutionary push. And then the moment that Biden won that election, I felt a drop in that energy, and the energy died. it was like too many people were like, okay, we're safe, we're done, we're good, we don't have to work anymore. And I was like, what the? I could see it. I could see it coming. But the thing is time is not a one-to-one. And at the end of the day, people have free will. So we lost the momentum. Right now, we have enough momentum to make what I saw happen. We have enough energy to make that happen. But you have free will. So if enough of you decide to be like, fuck it, it is what it is. I'm just going to let it be. I don't have enough power to change. There's no way that this could possibly happen. If those are how you think, and enough of you continue to think that, then yeah, I'm gonna be wrong, because that's how energy works. That's how free will works. I could see that scenario. That is that is a line of sight that I can see. That does not feel the strongest to me. So that is how we distinguish it. I can see 16 different trajectories of my life. What feels most authentic to me today and my energy today is the trajectory that I see, right? So as I'm gauging and looking at the potential timelines that we could venture off into, what feels most aligned with our collective energy, what feels most probable because of that collective energy is what I said, right? So again, I'd love other psychics to weigh in and how you see and view this, but what my guides are wanting me to share is kind of like what I've been seeing, I guess, for my own future and how it aligns with the bigger picture that I put out. Where do I start this? Okay, so I see myself eventually. First, let me say that I have a partner of 15 years. I have 2 little boys. And I see our family expanding, but not a traditional sense. We are poly. I see us having a bigger family that integrates another man and woman into our household and potentially other children. I see us living in a community where we are mostly self-sustaining within the land. We grow most of our own food. We have most of the resources and the things that we need provided within ourselves. Like we have people who can do certain things. Like we have someone who's great at gardening. We have someone who's a healer. We have somebody who loves to teach kids. Like all of those types of things are taken care of within our community. And what we don't have within our community that we are able to trade with neighboring communities or communities that we have agreements set up with that may be further away. It's like we're going back to the little prairie, but with technology, because I like my technology. I'm a Taurus moon. We like our things. I'm not materialistic in the way that I need to buy things, but I do like the things that I have. And I like things to be pretty. I'm a Libra sun too. I'm not gonna that's just part of me, and I'm not ashamed of that. So to each their own, right? But I want all that to be in alignment with what's best for the earth. I don't want to be a Fashion Nova queen, right? I want to be wearing sustainable clothes that are sustainably made, that don't impact the earth. So anyways, sharing that because it could change, right? I have free will. I could decide in a couple of weeks that that's no longer in alignment with me. And so if I do choose that, then the energy towards that destination stops, right? But right now, that's where my energy is. I can see that future. And so it's a very real possibility. I can also see the future where my partner and my 2 children and I stay in the house that we're in right now. We stay in the neighborhood that we are living right now, where we have some amazing friends that we get to hang out with, where everything that we need was in a 10-minute drive. I would like to make my house more sustainable. I could see that happening, yes, if we stay here. Those are both possible, but it doesn't mean I'm wrong. It just means the energy is focused somewhere today. So, hope that helps. Let me know in the comments if you have more questions.